Happy Halloween, everyone! Your buddy Navicus here with another comic review and one that's perfect for the season. And this time, we're looking at It Happened on Hyde Street, Devour. So, yeah, if you guys can't tell, this is basically tying into Jeff Johns and Ivan Reyes' Hyde Street over at Ghost Machine. And, yeah, apparently, a Hyde Street is so ample full of material, all that they can make one-shots of it and give other creatives a chance to do it. Yeah, I think that's a good thing. There's probably plenty of material you can get out of Hyde Street. It and overall, I enjoyed Devour, but I do have to. Yeah, I'll just get my big critique of it out of the way, so I can get to talking about what makes this comic work, and that is Leia Les's artwork is pretty generic. Eric, it just looks standard comic booky, like especially superhero comics. If you guys have been like hanging around my show and stuff, if you'll probably know that I prefer it when comic book art is like more stylistic, where you could take a look at it and instantly recognize it. And yeah, Layla Les's artwork doesn't really stand out and have anything majorly that sticks out. I can tell what's going on. Sometimes it can show horror pretty well. Well, I do like how anorexic the grandmother and the mother look. But I do also, yeah. You compare it to something like, say, Peach Momoko's artwork on Ultimate X-Men, and you just take one look at this comic and you could tell that Peach Momoko drew it. Whereas for this one, if you had told me without telling me who the artist is, if you just told me this was Leonard Kirk or the late great Carlos Pacheco on one of his off days, I probably would take your word for it. Unfortunately, the generic looking heart doesn't make the horror hit as much as it could have if they got like a better artist for it. But who knows? Maybe that's the intention, because it is a pretty mundane horror situation, and basically the anxiety of losing weight ate and turned up a notch. So, yeah. So what is Devour about? Well, basically, Devour is about this shop owned by Miss Goodbody, one of the denizens of Hyde Street. And one thing that I like about this is that it's a generational horror story. So, yeah, if you liked crazy shit like Hereditary, where it's basically where you basically see the end result of an entire of a bunch of fucked up generations, and yeah, this story will hit that. And maybe I'm just biased because Hereditary is one of my favorite horror movies. But yeah, essentially what happens, the story of Devour basically deals with a woman who goes to Miss Goodbody's store. You can obviously tell she's a bit on the chunkier side, where she wants to lose weight. And we see early on that she kind of has a bit of a complex about it. She's trying to get her daughter to keep from eating snacks and becoming fat like her. The daughter says that the mother isn't fat. And how dad always talked about how beautiful she is, but with the father passed away, the mother thinks that, she's the only one, that he was the only one who thought about that. Apparently she gets desperate enough to actually try to devour thing, which we will not see later. We cut to the present day, where we meet Lily, our main character, where she's the granddaughter of the woman from the first flashback. And it's kind of a third generation issue. And yeah, I'll be honest, this issue did kind of hit me because I'm a bit of a fat guy myself, and I know the stress of trying to lose weight, and how it seems kind of impossible for certain people. Well, but I definitely know it's a lot harder. That issue hits home a lot harder with women, especially because, I've been on the internet. There are guys who get upset over if a woman has a particularly outstanding chin. And so, yeah, suffice to say, a modern society, he does treat a lot of more curvy and not supermodel-esque women like shit. Which, yeah, it is kind of a shame that we see Lily feeling ashamed of her weight because, yeah, as you can tell by these images, it's not like she's morbidly obese or anything. She's just a bit on the thicker side. Right, and we learn later on that her and her late father had, or their love language was basically food, which, yeah, her skinny mother didn't really approve of that. And we do get a hint that that the Devour product has had a massive effect on this entire family because we see Aunt Sherry being skinny as hell and how she's starving, and even though she wants to eat, and which probably would be good for her, or the grandmother basically shames them for having no sense of self-control, and there is an explanation for that later, here, especially hinting on where, okay, yeah, I did give the artist a bit of crap for being generic, but I do like this page, and yeah, we basically see Lily's narration about how trying to cut down on weight before her wedding dress, this is kind of making her miserable. Oh, and yeah, yeah, we see the grandmother Bernice trying to get Lily to take on the Devour product. Then Lily basically, he says, that's that not when the real problem is me. It's not easy to lose weight. 8, and yeah, yeah, and as you can tell, Lily looks perfectly fine with all this. And yeah, she's definitely looking a lot better than her aunt. Who basically ends up starving herself to death. But of course, and yeah, if this was like not a horror story, we probably wouldn't be in a heart-touching moment about Lily overcoming her generational trauma and realizing she's beautiful as is. But this is a creep show-esque horror story, so no. So we learn the horrible truth about the Devour product. Essentially, what the Devour are these horrific, like, parasite-looking things. They kind of look like something John Carpenter would dream up in his nightmares. And yeah, these are basically nightmarish tapeworms that seemingly feed upon the fat inside someone. And not only that, they clearly manipulate their personality and mind because, yeah, Lily gets infected by a Devour. She looks unhealthily skinny. And yeah, later cut to a few months ago. Later, she gives birth to a beautiful baby girl. And something I didn't notice about that family: the men die young, and the women only seem to give birth to girls. And Lily, or at least now affected by the Devour parasite, decides that she's going to save her daughter from the shame and ridicule of trying to be skinny by just infecting her with the Devour parasite at an infant age. And the issue ends back on Hyde Street, where we see Miss Goodbody, he basically singing Rockabye Baby and receiving a message that, yeah, Lily gave birth to another baby girl, and how the baby is now hers. And yeah, this gives us a bit of insight on how different some of the residents of Hyde Street are, because like in issue 1, we saw Pranky just straight up murdering people, but for Miss Goodbody, we see deliveries. He's almost 10,000 in baby deliveries, and that seems to be her strategy. Instead of just killing them outright like Pranky did, and she's basically just hooking entire generations of women and subconscious about their body weight into taking the devoured our parasite. Right. And yeah, it doesn't take a genius to know that this is pretty much a commentary on fad diets, body shaming, aiming the amount of pressure women in society are put under to look good, and twisting it to give it a nice horror or aesthetic. I'd say it's kind of like the Stephen King story Thinner, but I'll be honest, I've never read or seen Thinner, but that is from the premise of Thinner, that is the closest comparison I had. So yeah, that's It Happened on Hyde Street, Devour issue 1. Aside from the art, this is a pretty fun one-shot. Onset, it has a wonderfully karmic ending. Well, not really karmic because Lily didn't really do anything wrong. So, it is. So it's more like the Tales from the Dark Side movie, where good people end up getting gruesome fates happen. But yeah, if you're looking for, just a fun on horror one shot for Halloween, and if you've ever experienced weight loss and you kind of want to experience some horror, then hey, this issue is for you. You. So yeah, that's it for the video, but stay tuned because as I plan on uploading a second video, in just a bit. And consider it a special Halloween treat. Or, as a certain famous movie said, and stay tuned for the free giveaway at 9. Until then, and happy Halloween!